You know that feeling right when that first real heat wave of summer hits and you reach for the thermostat? There's always that little voice in the back of your head wondering, okay, what's this cool air really going to cost me on the next power bill? Well, it turns out there's a single, simple number that can tell you almost everything you need to know. And today, we're going to demystify it.
I mean, think about it like this. You would never, ever buy a car without looking at the MPG rating, right? It's like the universal language for efficiency. So what if your air conditioner had that exact same kind of rating? A simple way to know how much cooling per gallon you're getting. Well, the great news is it does.
And that rating is called SEER. Honestly, understanding what this one little acronym means is the absolute key to understanding not just your air conditioner, but your cooling costs too. So what does SER actually stand for? Well, the official name is Seasonal Energy Efficiency Ratio. I know, that sounds a bit technical, but the idea behind it is actually really simple. All it's doing is measuring how much cooling you get for every bit of electricity you use over an entire cooling season.
So, look, if you forget everything else today, just remember this one thing. SEER is to your AC what MPG is to your car. That's it. It's the single most important number you can know about its efficiency. And just like with MPG, the rule is incredibly simple. The bigger the number, the better. A higher SEER rating just means your air conditioner is more efficient at its job, turning electricity into cool, comfortable air. And that means more comfort for less money.
Okay, but what does better actually look like in the real world? How much of a tangible difference does a higher SEER number really make? Let's break it down. Well, the difference can be pretty dramatic. The best way to think of it is as cooling power per dollar. A unit with a high SEER rating, let's say 18 or even higher, is giving you a whole lot more cool air for every dollar you spend on electricity, especially compared to an older, less efficient model. You're literally getting a better bargain on your own comfort. And you know what the best part is? You can actually trust these numbers. SEER isn't some clever marketing buzzword that a company made up. Nope, it is a standardized rating. That means a SEER 16 from one company is directly comparable to a SEER 16 from a totally different company. It's a true apples-to-apples comparison, which makes shopping so much easier. So we know what SEER is, and we know how to compare the ratings. But why does all this really matter to you as a homeowner? Well, it all boils down to two things that we all care about: your wallet and your comfort. This right here is the fundamental choice every single homeowner faces when they need a new AC. The high SEER unit, yeah, it usually has a higher price tag up front. But that cheaper, lower SEER unit, that's going to hit you with higher energy bills, month after month after month. It's the classic pay now or pay a whole lot more later situation. When you look at the long-term math, it's pretty clear that initial investment in a more efficient system really pays off. Over the years, the savings on your utility bills can easily add up to more than the initial price difference. So yeah, a higher SEER rating just flat out translates to lower running costs over time. But, and this is a really crucial point, as important as SEER is, it is not the only thing that affects your energy bills. It's just one piece, a very important piece, of a much bigger puzzle. Think about it like this. The SER rating is your car's potential MPG. But your actual mileage depends on other stuff, right? Like how you drive, tire pressure. It's the exact same for your AC. The climate where you live, whether the system is even the right size for your house, keeping up with regular maintenance, and how you use your thermostat. All of that has a massive impact on your real-world savings. So, with all that in mind, what are the big takeaways here? Let's boil it all down into a super simple, actionable checklist to make sure you're getting every last bit of efficiency out of your home's cooling system. All right, here's your action plan. First, when you're shopping for a new AC, make the SEER rating your #1 comparison point. Second, and this one is so important, have a professional make sure the unit is the right size for your home. Too big is just as bad as too small. Third, treat it like your car. Get it professionally maintained. And finally, look for that Energy Star logo and definitely pair your system with a smart thermostat to automate your savings. If you do these things, you know you're not leaving money or comfort on the table. And all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. Now that you understand the language of SEER, is your current cooling system costing you more than it should? Are you paying a premium for inefficiency every single time you turn it on? Definitely something worth thinking about. Thanks for joining us.